Warning, the Platinum Conversations podcast may contain adult language and content, and guests may appear on the show under an alias to protect their identity. Listener discretion is advised. On today's episode of Platinum Conversations, I'll be joined by my guest, Lucy, who wanted to talk with me about whether past relationship secrets should be shared with a new partner. Platinum Conversations is a podcast where we tackle men's common dating and relationship challenges. Each episode, which will release on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, is to inspire men to date smarter and foster fulfilling relationships. I'm your host, Michael Buckner, president of dating agency Platinum Ruby Entertainment, and I will be taking this journey with you. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain the ways. First of all, it's free. Second, there's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need from a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. In our conversation segment, I'm joined by Lucy, who is a dispatcher from South Florida. Lucy wanted to join us today to answer the following question. Should past relationship secrets be undisclosed, or should they be shared with your new partner?
Lucy, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now, Lucy, you had reached out to me because you had a really interesting take on secrets and relationships.
Correct.
And I thought it was a pretty good topic for us to talk about for our audience. So before we begin, when you say secret, what are you describing? What are you thinking about?
Well, that's what I was thinking earlier. It can go many ways. It's like a good secret, or because honestly, if we're keeping secrets, it has to be something that you don't want to share, or something assuming bad. I feel like depending what it is, it determines, if it's something that you should share or not. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to go.
Yeah. Okay. So it could be a good secret or a bad secret.
Correct.
So when you're in a relationship,
mm-hmm.
and let's say you're dating somebody, what do you think? What type of secrets should be shared? What type of information in general should be shared with your partner?
I feel like if it's something that would harm me as a person and it will affect my life, then it should be shared. But if it's something that it wouldn't, I honestly don't feel like you should share it, because some things it's better left unsaid, because it will just damage your current relationship if you bring baggage from your old relationship. What I mean, like secrets that should be told, let's say if you have, I don't know, some form of like STD, that should be something that I feel like you should share with the other person that you're with, because, that can affect them, in a way.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe if you had if you got arrested, let's say, and you did something that was harmful, then maybe it's something that you should share, your record. If it was something that's can possibly affect you in the long run, then that should be another thing you should share.
So let me drill down on that some, because I understand and I completely agree with what you said so far. So is there a level of openness that comes from different types of relationships? Let me give you an example. If we're just dating, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're just dating for a few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
what type of secrets should I share with you? Versus if we've been dating for several months and we're committed and I think that you're the one, I'm going to marry you. Should I share more secrets with you? I mean, is there a degree to the significance or the longevity of the relationship and where more and more secrets should be shared with the other person?
Yeah, of course. If it's somebody that you're just meeting and you're just getting to know and it's just like a moment, you know, that you're not gonna take them serious, then I feel like you shouldn't really tell them. You shouldn't just open up and tell them everything, you know, because it's really somebody that you know that it's not gonna be in your life. So there's no point. If it's somebody that's, like you said, that you're gonna marry, I feel like yes, you should be very open, lay it all out, because if you're gonna get married to somebody, that's a different situation. You're committing to that person for life. So yes, you should be open with everything, because you don't know if in the long run that would come up, and it looks bad that you just never said anything. You know, that's the difference. I feel like if it's a relationship that's gonna be for a while, then yes, you should, you know, tell that person majority of what you feel comfortable telling them. Like I said, that will affect them. If it's something like very small, I don't know, you cheated on your first girlfriend, like, you know, something very like petty, not really important, then you can keep that. But that's how I feel. I don't know.
So at what point in a relationship does that change to where that partner should be a little bit more open with the other partner regarding secrets?
I think
does that depend upon the topic or the issue, or, you know, help me out on that one.
I think with time, and yes, the topic, because if you're with, like, if, you know, when you're dating somebody, you're trying to get to know them, and, you know, you're going to ask questions about their past. I feel like depending on who it is, and like I said, if you feel like you're going to be with this person, then go ahead. But if you know that this is just somebody that, you know, is just for the moment, then there's no point, you know, of spilling all your secrets to that person. If you're just temporarily going to have them there, you know?
Now, I understand all that. Let me point something out to you. Let me throw something to you from a guy's perspective, okay? And I hear women say all the time, we want men to be honest with us, and we want to know the truth. So we're talking about secrets, okay? You know, and oftentimes when we are open and honest with women, you guys don't really want to know the truth, right? You guys say, you're telling me you really want the secrets, but do you really?
Well, I personally do. I would want to know. Personally, yes, I would want to know. But that's just me. You know, not everybody wants to know the real truth, but I like to know.
So, has there ever been a situation that you've been dating or committed, you know, that's your boyfriend, your husband, or whatever, and he's told you something, and, you know, you may have been upset about it, but did you strike back at him? Or, you're not saying strike physically, but, you know, get upset at him, and was there any type of negative reaction to a secret that was shared with you by your male partner?
Yes, I was in a relationship that was for 7 years, and at some point that the person cheated on me, you know, and the details, the way the story he told me didn't add up to what I was, you know, already in the background putting up my story, you know. And when the truth came out, it was, when he told me the truth at the end of the day, it was what I thought it was from the beginning, and that really like angered me, and that was the end of the relationship. I don't know. So I guess I couldn't take the truth, if you want to think about it, if it ended the relationship. But it was more the fact that you lied to me, you know? And you had me think one story, and then it wasn't that story.
How long between the time that you first suspected that he was cheating on you until you finally got the truth? How long was that?
I feel like it took like maybe 3 months, 3 to 4 months, because the other person that he was, I guess, dealing like with behind my back would pop up, or I would find, like, you know, she made herself known, you know, and that's how I found out the truth.
So if he would have shared that with you, that he had cheated on you at the moment that you suspected, or the moment that you may have initially confronted him, would that have ended the relationship? Or was the fact that he lied initially and then later on told the truth, was that the cause of the breakup?
Well, the cause of the breakup was the lying, obviously. The lying was a big thing for me, because to me, lying is a really big thing. Like, I don't see sometimes the point. Like, the point of lying is just, it's going to come out, so might as well just tell the truth, you know? And I think that was, like, a big thing for me, the fact that he lied and the fact that he cheated. They were both big to me. Personally, they were both really big to me. So there's not a side I can pick, because they were both the reasons why I stepped away from the relationship.
So you don't know whether or not you would have broke up with him if he would have initially had told you the truth? Correct.
I still would have still do it, because I don't know, I can't deal with that, you know?
So if he would have told you the truth at the outset, you still would have broken up with him?
Correct. Because at the end,
okay.
Yeah, both ways I would have still done it.
Okay. So from his perspective, he had nothing to lose, right? And I'm telling you the truth, because the relationship's going to be over either way. So he said,
he lost either way.
He lost either way. Okay.
Yeah.
I just know, from my personal experience, and this is from a guy's perspective, of course, and that's why we have this podcast and talking to women to get the woman's perspective. But it's been my experience, more often than not, that, again, this is not general rule, but person-specific and issue-specific. But generally, when I've been more open and honest, that eventually that information initially is received favorably. Oh, great, you're so honest and open. What a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
And then that information is used, because what a lot of women do, and correct me if I'm wrong, again, all this stuff I'm saying, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, from your perspective.
Okay.
But women have a wonderful capacity. Men don't have this, but women have a wonderful capacity of taking information, golden nuggets, and storing it away. I don't know where you guys have it in your brain, some like special vault, okay? You guys put the information in, and you guys have it filed away, and I don't organization and by issue and everything. And then when the search results pop up, you guys take that information that we as men thought, hey, that was 3 years ago. Where'd that come from? And you guys pop it in. I'm sorry?
I said use it against you at that moment.
Yes, exactly. Use it at that moment.
Yeah.
And I got to situations where I may have shared something about my family, something negative, some issue that I may have had with my brothers or other family members, or something happened in my family history that may not be, altogether positive. And I've had partners file it away, and then we may get into an argument, and she's wrong and I'm right on something, and she will pop that in to derail the argument, so it gets me upset. So then I get upset at her for bringing up something from my family history, and I get so upset that then the argument then switches from her being wrong to me being wrong and how I reacted to what.
Correct.
What, yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Now, am I too far off on that?
No, that's something that we would, that's something that we would do. Yeah. I can't even argue on that one because I've seen it. I've probably done it myself. I can't remember at the very moment, but I probably have. I'm sure I have. It sounds too familiar.
So I appreciate you being honest. I appreciate you acknowledging that. So it goes back to the secret part, okay? This all revolves around secrets. So as a man, how can we be certain that if we're going to be vulnerable to our partner and we're sharing stuff, and when I say a secret, it doesn't necessarily mean, there are definitely secrets, like you mentioned, STD and cheating and, hey, I was arrested and convicted for sexual assault on somebody. Those are issues that would impact you physically or impact you somewhat. But I also think the secret's other things. Family history, things that happened to your life personally, thoughts about other people that may be close to you, traumatic situations that may have happened to you that you may not have shared with other people or a lot of people.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but traumatic situations that happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That you don't go out and advertise it to everybody, but it may be a person that impacted you. Or again, it can happen to a guy, but more often women, the woman could be sexually assaulted and she may not have reported it. But that's a secret. Okay?
Yeah.
So as a man, again, I'm asking you as a woman, as a man, if women want us to be vulnerable and somewhat, open, how can we be assured that if we're going to be open and honest with a woman about our secrets, that openness, that honesty will not be taken advantage of by our partner?
I think it comes down to who you're with, because you can be with somebody and you can already know. If it's somebody that you know, that you trust, and you know that this is the person that you plan to be with for a while, then I feel like it should be okay. If you're already having doubts about that person, to tell them you're like something you want to share with them, because you should feel comfortable to share whatever you want with somebody that you potentially want to be with. If you don't feel comfortable, then there's already an issue right there. Then maybe it's not the right thing to do.
Sure.
I make myself clear. I just honestly feel it's depending on the person and how you guys attract to each other, and if you see yourself with this person. Because if you don't, there's no point of opening up. There's really not. That's how
I think you make a good point. In all the issues, and issues that I talk about on this podcast, it all revolves around being with the right person. Correct. And if you're not with the right person, you're going to have issues with secrets. You're going to have issues with sex. You're going to have issues with fidelity and trust, and it all revolves around finding that right person.
Exactly, because you're not going to talk to somebody for 3 to 4 weeks, a month, and just already tell them your traumatic situations that happened to you in your childhood. That nobody really does that, unless if this is the person within that month you feel that is going to be with you for the rest of your life, then go ahead. But I personally feel that that's a little bit too short of a time to pour yourself out to somebody.
Right.
Yeah, and there's some people that probably don't have guidance, and they probably don't know, and they probably are open, and they tell everybody everything,
And those are situations that are bound to fail or could fail because they're just sharing, they're oversharing with too many people because they're going into a relationship and they don't really know that person, so they're oversharing.
So oversharing also can be not a good thing.
Right.
If it's somebody you're just meeting.
Right. If someone that you trust, you're in a long-term relationship, and that person's not going to take advantage of you, then oversharing shouldn't be a problem.
Exactly. Shouldn't be a problem at all. If you know you're going to be with this person forever, oversharing shouldn't be an issue. That person should be understanding and try to make the best thing out of the situation, or whatever the person told you, make the best of it.
Well,
that's what I do.
No, that's perfect. And Lucy, I really appreciate you joining us today for the podcast, and
Thank you.
you really given me some things to think about regarding secrets and how I approach things with people that I'm meeting out there and don't overshare, and making sure that I'm finding the right person in order to share my secrets with. So I want to thank you.
No, thank you for having me. It was interesting. I like it.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Platinum Conversations, and I really appreciate Lucy for joining us today. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and other podcast platforms, as well as on YouTube, so you never miss an episode. Finally, visit me on the Platinum Ruby Entertainment website at platinumruby.com for dating and matchmaking services. Until next time.